The Young Playwrights program starts with improvisation techniques designed to show the students how playwrights develop character, relationship, and stories through dialogue and action.
Hi. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Yeah! Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what status means in terms of playwriting vocabulary, okay? What do you think?
Who's ranked higher?
Who's ranked higher? Who's more powerful? Good. It does. It has to do with, it's not who's more powerful, but it's the balance of power, right? Who's more powerful, we would say, has the high status, yeah? So it's the balance of power between characters. But the reason I bring up status and the reason that it's important in your writing, in your playwriting, is that the audience, I talked a little bit about this yesterday, needs to feel a sense of balance, that they understand the way the world works, so that if you have a king and a servant, we have an expectation that they're going to interact in a certain way, that the king is going to speak in a kingly kind of a manner, and that the servant is going to say, "Yes, Your Majesty," right? A lot, and bow down and have a different, like a lower, and make themselves lower. We see that that balance is not right. I mean, there are probably situations where all of a sudden the servant could take over the status of the king. And then you think of a situation where the servant might take over the status.
The servant like pulls out a weapon when it threatens the king.
Okay, so maybe pulls out a weapon. That's possible. Yeah, well,
We're reading a story called The Sword of Damocles.
yes, let's talk about the sword of Damocles. Good.
He has, the king lets the servant be the king for like the night,
Uh-huh.
and so that he has a status now.
You're right. So he has a status. But it's also a bit of a setup.
Right.
So do we as an audience, do we know that it's a setup?
Not yet. Yeah. Well, yeah, because he says, the king, like, you can hear his, like, thoughts.
The king says, right?
Yeah.
So we do sort of hear the thoughts. But yeah, I mean, that is a good point. But the important thing is, Damocles, for that moment, feels that he has high status, right? He feels like, wow, this is great. I'm in the king's throne, right? So he does feel that way. Okay, good, good. Yes?
If the servant and the king are in danger together and the servant knows what to do,
That's perfect.
he could start helping the king and
That's perfect. Exactly right. So if the king and the servant are in some sort of a situation, a dangerous situation, where the servant, for whatever reason, has a skill, right, that the king doesn't have, well, you're pretty sure that the king's going to want to be saved by the servant, and then the servant comes out like the hero, and that raises the servant's status. So good. Excellent. Good. Okay. So let's read a few scenes. Let's read a few scenes.
It's the same deal everywhere, even back at your old school. The same. How do you treat new guys coming into your school? I guess the same. See, I told you. It's the same everywhere. Whatever. I'm tired of this. I'm going inside.
Hey, look, are we going to stand around here arguing all day, or are we going to hit them all like we planned?
I don't know, okay? This makes me feel icky. Icky? Icky.
Well, that's your problem. I thought you were cool, but I guess I was wrong. You're a big baby.
I thought you were my best friend, but I guess I was wrong too. You're a big jerk.
Why don't you just go back to school where you belong?
I will.
Fine.
As a playwright, in playwriting, there are three and only three ways to write so that your audience gets to know your characters. There are three ways. That's it. It only has to do with the writing. What do you think are the three ways that your audience gets to know your characters? Give me one.
Their attitude.
How do I know someone's attitude?
Like, by the, like, if, like, you're writing a script, you can, like, put in parentheses for a person to act, like, in a motion, like, sort of, like, angry.
So it's acting. It's how they act. It's not my attitude, because I can only show my attitude by how I act it, right? So, one is how your character acts.
Dialogue?
Yes, what they say. Okay? So the most obvious thing is what they say. We get to know a character by what they say, and we get to know a character by what they do. Mostly in situations we see them in, and how they act in situations. There's a third way. This is the tricky way.
Maybe when like the character walks out, like two characters are like talking about it.
Exactly. Okay, so we're at the moment where they're seated, Kenzie smiles, walks to the door, and opens it. How is Kenzie feeling at this moment?
Like she wants to grow up.
Okay, so give me some more. Nervous, okay? Nervous, a little scared.
Flattered, embarrassed,
Apprehensive. Okay.
sick.
Well, she was flattered because
that.
So she's very confused.
Okay, good. How do you think the mom might be feeling, this birth mother? How might she be feeling?
Well, I think she might be feeling a little nervous, like what questions her daughter might ask because it's been like so long since they've like ever seen each other. And she might be like excited too to see like how much she's grown from like since birth.
Right, okay, good. Now, so we have to move slowly. Do you think it's going to be a really comfortable moment or not so comfortable? We want to see awkward. Awkward's the word. We want to see awkward.
Kenzie?
Okay? And then I think the last thing is, what can you reveal about this character to the audience that they don't already know? Because that's why a playwright does a monologue most often. To reveal something, to be able to reveal something to the audience that they're not able to reveal in front of other characters. So can you reveal something? Is that the more dialogue we hear, the more we get to understand the situation of the character. Just then the door pops open and in jumps the woodcutter with his axe. The woodcutter gives out a loud yell, la la la, and goes for the wolf. He chases the wolf around the bed, under the bed, and finally out the door. The wolf and the woodcutter exit. Little Red is out of breath and terrified. She picks up her grandmother's handkerchief, sits on the bed, and cries.
Poor grandmother, that wolf must have eaten you, and it's all my fault. If only I had stayed on the path, none of this would happen. And I even told that wolf where I was going. I wish Mom was here.
Because it's important that you understand what the playwright had in mind. What the playwright had in mind is that the lights come up and no one's here, but we're seeing the scenery. We're seeing the scenery of the setting. So we're in a new setting now. We're on the other side of town. As lights come up, we see another neighborhood that is clearly more urban. Right now we move to the city. There are row houses and some storefronts. It seems fairly deserted until a teenage boy, Jonathan, enters through one of the storefronts. He's wearing a red apron indicating that he works in the store. He's listening to his iPod and moving to the music. He leans against the outside of the store, stage right, which is over here. That'll give us some room for the other directions. Begin.
As the scene opens, we see the living room of grandmother's house. It is ornately decorated. We hear the television in the background, playing The Price is Right, but we don't see Grandma. The buzzer sounds. At first, nothing happens. It sounds again. We see Black enter from where the kitchen might be and walk toward the door. He presses the intercom button. Disguising his voice.
Hi, Grandma, it's me, Red.
Black buzzes buzzes her in and hides behind the door. Bride comes into the room.
Hey, Grandma, how are you feeling?
She looks around.
Oh my God, Grandma. Grandma, can you sit up?
She helps Grandma to her feet and puts her on the couch.
Are you hurt?
Just the headache that these two young fools gave me. You boys should be ashamed of yourselves.
Enough of the small talk. Cough up the gold. Now.
Yeah, you heard him. Cough it up now.
You want my gold? Gold. That's all you want? If I'll give it to you, you'll leave us alone.
We may help ourselves to a few granny fancy items here, but otherwise, yes, we'll leave you alone.
The door buzzer sounds.
Someone's here. What are we gonna do now, Black? We're dead now.
No, we're not. Granny, go answer the buzzer and get rid of whoever it is.
She's too weak to move. I'll get it.
Bride goes to the
Up and picked up one of the heavy fireplace tools. Okay? So notice what's happening. Their back is to Grandma, but guess who can see her? See Grandma. Red, turn around. So they don't see her, but Red does. And Red decides to buzz Jonathan in because she's going to need backup. She knows what Grandma's about to do, right? Okay, she needs a backup. So the buzzer sounds, and then Black says,
What did you do? Are you stupid or something?
"Don't you dare call my granddaughter stupid." Before Black even has time to turn around, Grandma smacks him across the back with the fireplace tool. He falls to the ground. Blue kneels next to him. Just then, Jonathan enters with Mrs. Green and police officer.
I had a feeling, Jonathan, and I always say that you should trust your intuition. Anyway, I known these boys for a long time, and I learned that if you have a suspicion about them, you should check it out.
Well, we're grateful to all of you. Who knows what it might have happened if you didn't come.
I don't know, Grandma. You have a pretty mean swing.
Red's phone rings.
It's my mom.
She answers.
Hi, Mom. Fine. I'm at Grandma's. No trouble. She looks good. Okay. See you later. Bye.
See you later. Bye. She hangs up. Everybody looks at her as if to say, "No trouble."
I'll tell her later.
I'm going to get these hoodlums to the station and call Mr. Hoodie. She's going to be very disappointed, Blue. I've seen you get in trouble, but this is serious business.
Oh no, you're not going to call my mom. Please don't. It was all a big misunderstanding. I've learned my lesson. And anyway, it was all my brother's idea. He's always getting us into trouble.
Officer Hartman nudges Black with his foot.
Nudge, not kick.
And not his head.
Let's go, Black. Time to get going.
Black gets up, clearly dizzy and rubbing his head.
What happened? You came over to the wrong...
So why don't you say Disney apologizes for not saying goodbye and then explains
what happened.
but then is interrupted by
His friends.
Yeah.
No, Thisbe, because
So I should have put a comma.
Thisbe's friends. 'Cause we're in the house.
To end the conversation.
Yeah, to end it.
And then if you had to go on to the third scene, then they spend the whole day, like you said, the whole day like by themselves. And
But before we go to the third scene, like she gets interrupted, then we could say Thisbe's friends take her away to go to the mall or something.
Yeah, take her to the mall.
Thisbe's friends come in too.
Her friend.
Oh yeah, by both their friends.
No,
just Thisbe's. Because we already mentioned Pyramid's friends in the beginning.
It's not even only that, just like
Okay, so wait, hold up. Okay, so this is what we got. We see a beautiful
What? You
golden
recording
box.
when I have bad news?
We see a beautiful golden box with a silver name that says Pandora on it, and then it says MPTS and Pandora Interstate.
Oh yeah, and then say that they just got back from like their wedding or something. Because she's gonna be like,
Okay. Yeah, because they're coming from the wedding, and then they say that the present is Pandora's.
yeah, and then it's a big box.
What's his name?
With the golden box.
Prometheus. Prometheus.
What?
Prometheus.
Oh.
Yeah, him. Here.
This
guy.
guy. This guy.
Oh, Prometheus, never mind.
What play we're doing?
We're doing Cupid Psyche. Psyche and her parents are standing in front of the Oracle Center.
Finally, we made it to the Oracle Apollo. Surely he will know what to do. Psyche, dear, go inside this tent and do what the Oracle tells you to do.
Oh, but Mother, I do not wish to see the Oracle. Let's go back home.
Yes. Psyche, you must go to the mountain to find out what awaits you.
Will you come with me? I'm scared.
We will arrange to have the whole village come.
Thank you. Begins to cry. Lights fade.
Psyche is sleeping. Her door is open and Cupid enters. The curtains surrounding her bed are covering the view of her face. Cupid is in Psyche's room ready to prick her with his arrows of love. Cupid closes the door and the creaking wakes Psyche up.
Is someone there?
Psyche can't see Cupid because he is invisible and stays quiet.
Hello. Is anybody there?
Cupid stays quiet even though he sees Psyche.
Nobody is here. I'm going back to sleep.
Psyche pulls the cover over her head, walking to her bed.
Wow, those mortals are right. She is beautiful.
He pricks Psyche and accidentally pricks himself with the same arrow.
Oh no, I pricked my stupid self. I was distracted by her beauty. I'm falling in love with Psyche. This can't happen. Mom hates her for her beauty. How can this happen? I must make a healing potion for my dear Psyche, for she can't fall in love with the first person she sees.
There's no one here, cries. Besides, I think I have the right to be upset. We are losing you breaks down sobbing, to a horrible monster. You will never fall in love with a good man. Slowly and patiently, as if talking to a kindergartner.
Mom, we went over this already. The oracle says...
The oracle says, blah, 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 blah.
Lena, you're acting like a kid. Or worse, a teen.
Harry! I can't help it. We are losing our daughter.
Who do you think is going to win?
They're almost done.
Done.
Arachne and Athena stop leaving, and all the judges are whispering to each other.
Wow, Athena. Wow, Athena has such beautiful colors on her tapestry. I vote for Athena.
Oh, but Arachne's weaving has such great detail. I vote for Arachne.
The room
Be
gets
quiet,
waiting
for the last judge to make his vote.
It's a difficult choice, but I vote for Arachne.
This is the reason why we worship idols now. That you only got to help us.
Help us. I had a hunch that the gods would punish this wicked town of Phrygia.
Moses comes out of the cottage.
Come inside, dear. I don't want my husband to be swept away by the rain.
Our daughter is so gifted at weaving. She's almost as good as the goddess Athena.
Yes, and she has brought wealth to the family for a long time.
I just hope it doesn't go to her head.
I'm not almost as good as Athena. I'm better than her.
Don't say the gods' names in vain.
If Athena cares, she will come down and punish me. I don't see her anywhere. Now please leave. I would like to work in peace.
We'll leave you to work in peace. But just remember, the gods do punish people who say things like that.
Her parents exit. Nymphs 1, 2, and 3 skip up to the window. Scene 2, Venus's palace. Venus is pacing around her bedchamber.
Why is everyone comparing that wretched Psyche girl to me? Cupid, get in here, now. What in the name of Zeus do you want from me now? How dare you talk to your mother like that? Now get in here. Yeah, I'm coming.
Enters the room.
I need you to go down to earth and do me a favor.
Venus shows Cupid a picture of Psyche.
Shoot this prissy princess so she falls in love with a man who will greatly mistreat her.
Why? What did she do to you? Why could she just,
What could she do to you? You're a goddess. Stop being delusional. You are my son, and you shall do as I say. Now go and shoot her. Do it tonight. Scene 2. Pyramus's and Thisbe's houses. It's a split stage. One side is Pyramus's house, and on the other is Thisbe's. Lights go up and down on each side to show the action. Lights up on Thisbe's house.
Why? Why do you hate them?
It's something you wouldn't understand.
How would you know? I hate it when you do that. You treat me like a little girl.
If you really want to know, it has to do with your great-great-great-great-grandparents. They were landowners until one day, Pyramus's great-great-great-great-grandparents planted an apple tree on their land without their permission.
Yeah, so? It's just a stupid apple tree. What's so bad about it? It was a long time ago.
You know what? I have half of mine, too.
To what? Hit me? Send me to my room? I don't care, you wretched man.
You better watch yourself. Now go to your room and go to bed now.
Oh, nymphs, you are all so pretty.
Oh, Jupiter, you always know the right thing to say to a girl.
Yeah, you know, my wife is always nagging me. That's why I come to visit you beautiful nymphs.
Jupiter, you're so
nice. Your blue eyes are so pretty.
Ah, Jupy, you're so sweet and so modest.
Oh, stop that. I know I am. What do you ladies think of my newly polished lightning bolts?
Oh, they're gorgeous, just like you.
Thank you, sweetie.
Nymph 3 runs over to Jupiter, huffing.
Jupiter, I see your wife. She's coming towards us, and she looks mad.
Oh, no. Echo, would you please go and distract Juno for me while I leave?
Of course, I'll do my best.
Jupiter exits the stage running, and Juno enters the stage. Echo runs and jumps in front of her at the gate.
Hi, Juno. How's it going? How's your day going? Did you have a nice lunch? I like your necklace. So how about that weather? Do you like my dress? Do you think it's going to rain? Say hi to Jupiter for me. Say hi to your kids for me.
Echo stops.
Is there anybody here?
Here?
Where are you? Come here.
Here.
Echo comes out of hiding and shows herself to Narcissus. Echo twines her dainty little arms around Narcissus' neck.
Get off me!
Pushes Echo away. Narcissus exits the stage. Echo hides behind a tree again and starts crying. Nymphs enter the stage.
What happened when you spoke to Juno?
Spoke to Juno.
Oh, I just dropped my flower. Curses.
Curses.
Why are you repeating our last words?
Last words.
Stop repeating.
Repeating. Wait. Spoke to Juno. Curses. Last words. Repeating. Echo. Juno put a curse on you, so you repeat the last few words of others?
My flower was not destroyed. Yes.
Yes.
Echo continues to cry.
Why are you crying?
Crying.
Because
I just saw Narcissus. Narcissus. You're crying because of Narcissus? Because of Narcissus?
Oh, that Narcissus. He's done it again.
Mercury, I need you for a minute, please. Magic mirror, please show me the village of Phrygia.
Mercury comes running on stage.
Look here, Mercury.
Why are you showing this to me, Dad? Does this have anything to do with the fact that you are upset with me about not getting the right message to Neptune?
No, this is serious. That was a minor incident compared to this.
Uh-oh. What's wrong this time?
I've just been notified that this village of Phrygia has been disobeying an important rule. They're not being welcoming to travelers who need places to stay. Destroy this village.
At the corner of their eye, they see a cottage.
No, wait! There's another house over there!
They walk to the door. They knock.
Hello, travelers.
Hi, we've been on a long journey, and we're tired.
Please come in.
Jupiter and Mercury walk in.
Would you like anything to eat?
Yes, we would.
They sit at the table.
Start to come in. Damocles smiles. Welcome. Guests gather around Damocles and we hear laughter and joking.
You're so funny, Charles.
Oh, thank you, Lord Damocles.
Why are you here in the king's place, Lord Damocles? Let's just say the bald spot on his head is growing.
He laughs along with the guests.
You are too funny, sire. Would you like a cup of wine?
Picks up a bottle of wine.
I wouldn't mind if I do.
Takes a cup of wine.
Cheers.
Light changes to signify hours passing.
This is the life.
He throws his head up and laughs until he sees a sword hanging from a thread directly above his head. It is sharp and could kill him in an instant. His face goes blank.
to himself. Oh dear, what is this? What have I gotten myself into? I cannot move. I am frightened to death. I feel I must sleep, and I am too sick to my stomach. Oh, what should I do? Is the wine going to my head, I wonder? No, I've had only 2 cups. Oh, Athena, goddess of health, please let this drink hold.
Too Dionysius.
Please, your majesty, let me leave the banquet. I cannot take this threat.
Oh no, you cannot leave.